about to go through a field of sheep and cows, so we'll have to see what happens here. See, we've arrived at Shap Abbey. What a lovely little spot this is. Not too far from Shap now, nearly there. Done for another day, so ready for a pint. See you in a bit. Morning, start of day 5. I've just left the Crown Inn in Shap. It was a canny little place to stay. They have a small pitching area out the back for tents, but I managed to actually grab one of the camping pods. I think it's £7 for a pitcher tent, and it's only an extra £3 for a pod, so saved me messing around with the tent. The hosts are Mark and Sharon, lovely people, and they do some lovely home cooked food as well. I had a lovely beef stew with Yorkshire pudding and vegetables. So if you're passing and you're about to stop, give that place a shot. A few nice beers too. Probably take me a while to burn them off this morning though. Catch you in a bit. Just crossing the M6 motorway now, which means we say goodbye to the Lake District and we start to make our way into the Yorkshire Dales. I'm a few miles in this morning, making my way over to the Yorkshire Dales. So yeah, we're finally away from the noise of the M6, and I'm just on my first sort of major climb of the morning, going over the top of a fell. In the distance I can see the Dales starting to loom into view. Turn you around. Don't know if you can pick them out. But they're there. It doesn't look too bad a day today, apart from this section which is a bit rocky. It's a 20-mile section all the way to Kirby Stephen. That's assuming we make it, and hopefully we should be there sometime this afternoon. There you go, you can see more than Piran now. I've just been through a section of about a mile which was quite boggy in places. It took a lot of getting around, a lot of swaying left and right rather than going in a straight direction, but we've got through it. I was talking to a couple of lads in the pub last night who were actually doing the coast to coast, east to west, and they said there is a few pretty poor sections on this length here, and also they came across the 9 standards rig 2 days ago, and in places that was knee deep. And now that area is well known for being poor underfoot at certain times of the year, so we're going to find out what's waiting for us there in a couple of days time. But anyway, I'm just going to turn you around now and show you this. Apparently that is Robin Hood's grave. Just over halfway into today's stretch, about the 11-mile mark I think, and I'm just coming past Sunbig in town, which you can see in the distance there, and we're definitely in proper Yorkshire Dales territory now because it's just rolling hills all around us. It's absolutely fantastic. So we have about 8.5, 9 miles to go to Kirby Stephen, and that'll be done for the day. That's good timing. Just as I go to get the camera out, so we're approaching Smardale Bridge, Heavens Up. One thing you can rely on is British weather. Now in the distance we have the Smardale Viaduct. At least the rain's eased off now. A few more miles left to Kirby Stephen. Morning. It's the start of day 6. I'm just leaving Kirby Stephen. I stayed at the Pennine View Caravan and Camping Park last night, which was nice. Nice flat pitch, good clubhouse, bite to eat, a couple of beers. Early to bed actually. I was in the sleeping bag for about 6:30 I think, 7 o'clock, something like that. I was absolutely shattered. Caught a bit of weather yesterday and we've set off again today, and it's a wet morning again. Now I'm heading towards the 9 standards rig this morning, which is a, shall we say, a good climb. But when we get up there, I don't know what sort of visibility we're going to have, so that might be a bit of a disappointment, but we'll see when we get there. At least the rain's stopped at the moment, but it's forecast to rain on and off all day, so I don't know exactly how much film I'm going to get done today, but we'll see. Standards. I've got to say, that was a fair old slog up from Kirby Stephen. That it's only 600 metres, but it's slow, it's steady, and it's just never ending. This weather hasn't helped either. But we're there, we've done it. We'll move on. There you go, halfway point on the coast to coast. We'll take that as a little small victory after the horrendous weather we put up with this morning. So onwards and upwards, we're on our way home. Right, we've just climbed up the hill out of Keld, and we've come to the point where we chose the high or the low route, and today I think we're going to take the low route because of all the weather we've had this morning, and the sky's still looking a little bit angry, so I'm going to take the low route. But first of all, I'll show you the little tractor gearbox. Now the child within me wants to sit on that and have a play, but I'll resist. Look at this, where we're heading now. Oh, beautiful countryside. Just making our way down the River Swale. We're about 4.5 miles from Reeth, and there's been a few spots of rain, but the weather's managed to hold off, so it's been a glorious afternoon, and it'll soon be time for beer, because what I need right now is a pint. Evening. I'm currently in the King's Arms Hotel in Reeth. I checked in about half an hour ago, and a quick recap on today. It turned out to be a bit more difficult than I first expected. Obviously the weather when I got up was just atrocious, so anyway, I didn't not want to see 9 standards, so I went up there. I got to the top. It was absolutely horizontal rain, blowing a gale, but I got up there, I got my photographs, and then after that I would have been taking on the red route over the top and tackling the bogs. But having a look at the place, it was in such a state. I've already been warned by previous attempts over the last few days who've told me to bin it, but I wanted to have a look for myself. So anyway, I got up there, I agreed that they were right, so I've come back down, so far down the climb, and then I've picked up the low route, which takes you out across fairly boggy fields again, but eventually drops you down onto a B road, which starts to runs along for a while and then picks up the River Swale, and then I drop down and do the walk along the River Swale. And we got so far along there and we found a village called Gunnerside, where we had a quick pint in there. I'm walking with another guy at the moment, by the way. I bumped into him this morning and we've walked today, but I don't think I'll catch up with him anymore because he's on a different time plan to me. But anyway, we had a pint in Gunnerside, and then we've walked all the way to Reeth, which has probably worked out at around about 25 miles, I think. More than I was hoping for, but anyway, it's done. So I'm currently in my room. I'm just about to have a shower, go and get something to eat and have a couple of beers. But as you can see, I'm drying things out and airing things out. The room's a bit of a tip. I've also developed a blister today, which I'm going to have to treat. So, the life of a long distance hiker. I'm also charging all my gear. Anyway, B is calling, so I'll see you in the morning. See you later. Morning. It is now day 7, day 7, and I've just left the King's Arms in Reeth, where I stayed last night, and once again it's a cracking place. I got there about 6:30 last night, checked in, and they asked me what time I'd like breakfast, but I like to get away quite early, so I declined breakfast. So they told me there'd be a nice packed lunch waiting for me near the door when I left this morning, which there was. Lovely packed lunch, so I'll be enjoying that today. Now, these places I'm staying at, they all come highly recommended. You'll find them mentioned in various guidebooks and online accounts from other hikers. So last night, the food was lovely last night. It was like, I had a Moroccan lamb pie, which was something a bit different. Quite enjoyed it. And then obviously the token, a few beers. Now, when I checked my apps last night, I thought I'd done about 24-25 miles, but it was actually around about 27.5 miles. So, as you can imagine, 2 seconds wait, I'll just get through this gate. Yeah, so, as you can imagine, I'm feeling a little bit sore this morning. My feet are a little bit sore, my muscles are still a bit tight in my legs, and I'm also developing 1 or 2 war wounds. I've got a blister on the outside of my left heel, so that's somewhere I've never ever had a blister before, and I don't get blisters very often. It was probably more to do with being wet all day yesterday and the mileage that was done. And also, I've had to break out the Vaseline. starting to get sore in one or two places. So we should just say the conkers and the crack. This is a warts and all video, so I'll tell you like it is. Now, today I'm hoping to get to Danby Wisk, which is another 24-mile day. I'll be going through Richmond, so there's a couple of bailout spots if I'm starting to feel my legs a bit too much, but touch wood, I should be okay. I'm actually, you can't see it at the moment, but there's the flood banks there, but I'm actually I'm walking along the River Swale again today, and I think I'll follow the River Swale till somewhere around the Richmond area. I can't remember if it's before or after, but at some point today I will pull away from the River Swale and I'll start heading towards the North York Moors. So I'll keep you updated. See you later. Just had about an hour and a half or so of quite up and down over a few sets of hills. I'll turn you around if I'll try and explain. The River Swale runs down through the valley down here. Now a bit further round the path brought me up and over 3 sets of hills and down this way and dropped down into a village called Mask just outside Richmond, and then a fair bit of road walking involved, but now I'm cutting across the field here and I'm going to rejoin the River Swale just up ahead down here somewhere, and I'm pretty sure that I follow the Swale then pretty much all the way into Richmond. So it's been a lovely morning so far. Been a few angry clouds around, but so far it's held off, but the forecast does say that I'm going to get some today, but we'll see. Anyway, on we go. See you later. Just done another climb and we've climbed up to Applegarth Scar. And I think we're going to descend at some point pretty soon, because just down there, as you can see it, we're picking up the River Swale again. We've come from that direction over there, so at some point just ahead we're going to drop down, pick up the River Swale, and hopefully a bit more flat walking for an hour or two. It turns out we don't drop down to the River Swale, we actually follow it, but we stay fairly high above it, so I'm still quite in a high level. But we must be going to drop down soon, because if I turn you around in the distance, if the GoPro picks it up, you can actually see Richmond Castle. So we're not too far away from Richmond now. And I know we go through Richmond, so we must be dropping down at some point. as you've seen, I've just come through Richmond. It's absolutely beautiful town, Richmond. You've got the river, castle, Richmond waterfalls. There's loads of little pubs, shops. It's got everything going for it. It's a lovely place. I've been there a few times before, and believe it or not, it's only about 45 minutes from home. Now on this walk, and I've still got a few days left, and then probably more than 45 minutes from Robin Hood's Bay to home. That's if I make it. But yeah, it's a lovely place. Oh, and by the way, while I was there, I'll show you, I went to a family butcher's and I picked myself up a growler. Cheers everyone. Absolutely devastated. I've just come past the Hilliard Arms at 10 past 11 and it's still closed. Oh, I could have just gone a pint. Anyway, I'm sure there'll be another pub further up ahead. I think we've hit what everyone refers to as the boring flat part now. It's all just arable fields, but it's a nice day, it looks beautiful.